2/3 of Americans believe that marijuana should be legalized, an overwhelming majority, and yet this is what we get from Democrats.
Under a Biden-Harris administration, we will decriminalize the use of marijuana and automatically expunge all marijuana use convictions and end incarceration for drug use alone. This is no time for half-stepping. This is no time for incrementalism. We need to deal with the system. And there needs to be significant change in the design of the system.
That's inherently contradictory. Decriminalization is quite literally half-stepping incrementalism. Like, why not just get ahead on this popular issue? I'll take it. I'll take decriminalization because this is clearly a party-wide, agreed-upon initiative. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tweeted yesterday that he's pushing for decriminalization, and he's co-sponsored the Marijuana Freedom and Opportunity Act, which deschedules marijuana from Schedule 1, which is a classification that had it equal to the danger on a federal level of crack cocaine and heroin. So Schumer was interviewed by a marijuana magazine on why he wouldn't bring a legalization bill up or propose a legalization bill, because 2/3 of Americans believe it should be legalized. In what's supposed to be a democracy, that should mean that the party that's at least ostensibly to the left should be bringing that up. Well, Schumer's Mitch McConnell, he controls the Senate, I'm terrified of him, and he said he wouldn't bring any marijuana bill to the floor, and so, well, then make him. Make your own case. Like, that's the whole point of having the people behind you, is that if you are public and publicize your position and your bill, then you can put pressure on the other party to bring it up. But they have such Stockholm syndrome about the Republicans, and I get it. McConnell is sociopathic. Like, for example, a second stimulus check, very popular right now. But Democrats are like, oh, McConnell, and they're trying to push for it, I get it. But McConnell's just, nope. And he knows that the power of corporations will keep him in office and that he's not worried about Amy McGrath actually challenging him seriously. But if the Democrats were smarter and understood strategy, like, I see their perspectives. I'm trying to give it credence there, but it's the wrong way to go, because there's been article after article, and all of this evidence that's shown that Trump is terrified that Democrats will run on marijuana because it's such a popular issue. The president and some of his team have begun openly worrying that the drive to legalize or decriminalize marijuana might hurt him and fellow Republicans at the ballot box. According to 2 GOP strategists who've independently discussed the topic with Trump this year, the president believes that inclusion of marijuana initiatives on state ballots could supercharge turnout for voters who lean toward Democratic candidates and causes. The president, according to one of the sources, asked for updates on critical swing states that could see such ballot measures in 2020 elections. The pot issue is one of many issues that the president thinks could be a danger, one of the Republican strategists said. He once told me that it would be very smart for the Democratic Party to get as many of these on the ballot as they could. Decades ago, Trump had publicly advocated full-on legalization, arguing that, quote, we're losing badly the war on drugs and that you have to legalize drugs to win that war. During this iteration of his political identity, he put the blame on politicians who don't have any guts to tackle drug legalization. But by his 2016 presidential campaign, Trump had come out strongly against legal weed. By the time he reached the Oval Office, he was enthusiastically proposing executing drug dealers by firing squad, and his first attorney general, Jeff Sessions, revoked an Obama-era guidance that discouraged the feds from prosecuting marijuana-based criminal cases in states where it was legal. You guys think that if Trump's terrified about marijuana and making that a central issue, you might want to just side where 66% of Americans lie on the issue, legalizing it, the common sense solution? No. Classic Democrats. They're going to do tweaks around the margins. Kamala Harris says decriminalization is not an incrementalist approach. Okay. Tweaks around the margins. And then Republicans will be shameless and say whatever they want and say, like they did at the convention, Trump gave healthcare to millions. He took away healthcare from, at minimum, 7 million people, plus the pandemic. That's not true at all. Trump saying that he ended the wars. That's also not true. But they lean into populism in the election. And Now, Democrats are like, we're going to decriminalize it. What? Okay, that's fine. But what actually gets people to vote is a strong message, not small little crumbs. And so I'm happy this is a step forward, but once again, it's bad strategy by the Democrats, and they seem to just constantly step on their own toes, and they can't get out of their own way.